The 90s gave us television we'll never forget. Sitcoms, teen dramas, political thrillers, you name it. But hidden in all that nostalgia was a strange trend nobody really talks about. Characters who showed up, made an impression, and then just disappeared. No farewell episode, no send-off, sometimes not even a single line explaining where they went. One week they were there, the next, it was like they'd never existed at all. Today we're counting down 10 characters from the 90s who mysteriously vanished without saying goodbye. And trust me, some of these will have you saying, wait, whatever happened to them? Number 10, Judy Winslow, Family Matters. If we're talking mysterious TV vanishings, nothing tops Judy Winslow. Family Matters started off as a wholesome sitcom about the Winslow family, with Judy as the youngest daughter. She was right there in the early seasons, cracking jokes, playing off her siblings, and rounding out the family dynamic. But then, in season 4, Judy walked upstairs and never came back down. Literally. One episode she was part of the family. The next, it was like she had never existed. No explanation, no send-off, not even a passing mention in later seasons. It was as if the Winslows decided they only had 2 kids. Fans still joke about the Judy Winslow effect, shorthand for characters that just vanish into the sitcom void. The official reason? The writers didn't see her character adding much to the show, especially once Steve Urkel exploded into a phenomenon. But come on, erasing a whole family member like she was never born? That's next-level TV ghosting. Before we go on, do you know what would be a good idea? You hitting that subscribe button. Done? Let's retain this nostalgia. Number 9. Brandon Walsh, Beverly Hills, 90210. Now here's a disappearance that still stings. Brandon Walsh, played by Jason Priestley, wasn't just another character. He was the heart of 90210. The show literally revolved around him as the moral compass and all-American teen navigating life in the zip code. For 9 seasons, Brandon was at the center of nearly every big storyline. Romances, scandals, rivalries, you name it. And then, he was gone. No emotional farewell, no dramatic exit. Just a passing mention that he had moved to Washington, D.C. That's it. After nearly a decade of being the face of the series, Brandon vanished with barely a whisper. Fans kept waiting for a reunion with Brenda, a tearful goodbye, or even a cameo send-off worthy of such a core character. But it never happened. Behind the scenes, Jason Priestley decided to leave to pursue directing and producing, but for viewers at home, it felt like one of the laziest exits in TV history. One week, Brandon was guiding the gang through drama, and the next, he was erased from Beverly Hills like he never lived there at all. For a character that carried the show for so long, his vanishing act is one of the biggest head-scratchers of the 90s. Number 8. Mandy Hampton, The West Wing. Every West Wing fan knows the deal. Aaron Sorkin loved to write long, rapid-fire speeches, and his characters usually had arcs mapped out in detail. But even in the world of political drama, not everyone got closure. Enter Mandy Hampton. Played by Moira Kelly, Mandy was introduced in Season 1 as a political consultant and media specialist for the Bartlett administration. She was sharp, ambitious, and had her own subplot with Josh Lyman. For a while, it looked like she was going to be a central figure in the series. And then Season 2 rolled around, and Mandy was gone. Not written out, not killed off, not even mentioned. She just stopped existing in the universe of The West Wing. Fans call it the Mandy disappearance because it's one of the most abrupt vanishing acts in TV history. The truth? Sorkin reportedly didn't know what to do with her character. She didn't quite fit with the rhythm of the show, so he quietly cut her. But he cut her so quietly that it still baffles people today. One week, Mandy was in the Situation Room. The next week, it was like she never worked in the White House at all. Number 7. 7. Married with Children. 7. This one is infamous. In the 7th season of Married with Children, the writers decided to spice things up by giving the Bundy family a new addition. A cute blonde-haired kid named Seven, who was dropped off by relatives and just stayed. He was supposed to be the Bundy's answer to the cute kid trope, like adding a cousin Oliver to the Brady Bunch. But fans hated him. And I mean hated him. Seven never really fit with the Bundys' brand of dysfunctional comedy, and the audience let the writers know it. Ratings dipped, letters poured in, and before long, Seven was gone. No tearful goodbye, no storyline where he went back to his family. He just disappeared. Literally. The Bundys went from having an extra kid in one season to never mentioning him again the next. The only acknowledgement came years later in a blink and you'll miss it gag. A carton of milk in the background with Seven's face on it, listed as a missing child. Brutal. Number 6, Ben Geller, Friends. Now here's one that people are still arguing about. Ross's son, Ben Geller, started off as a recurring character on Friends, played by twins Dylan and Cole Sprouse. Yes, before they were Disney stars, Ben popped up in multiple episodes. We saw Ross and Carol co-parenting. We saw Ben bonding with the gang. Heck, even Joey and Chandler babysat him once. But as the show went on, Ben became less and less of a presence. By the time Ross was dating Rachel, Ben had basically vanished. And here's the kicker. Ross and Rachel had a child together, Emma, but Ben was never shown interacting with her. Not once. So what happened? Well, nothing official was ever explained. The writers just stopped writing him in. Some fans joke that Ross forgot he had a son, while others say the writers found it easier to focus on the core 6 adults. But either way, Ben Geller just disappeared from the show. It's one of the strangest vanishing acts in sitcom history. A kid who was supposed to be a major part of Ross's life, but ended up ghosted by the scriptwriters. It's getting juicier, so you have to hit that like button now. Number 5, Bud Bronski, Wings. Wings, the underrated NBC sitcom about a small airport on Nantucket, had a solid ensemble cast, but in season 4, they decided to add a new mechanic, Bud Bronski, played by Brian Haley. Bud was quirky, tough, and had this whole ex-military guy turned plane fixer vibe. And honestly, he wasn't bad, but then, poof, gone. No goodbye episode, no moving away storyline, no tragic accident. The writers just cut him loose, and the show pretended he never existed. What makes this one extra strange is that Wings wasn't a revolving door of characters. It had a tight-knit cast. So Bud's sudden disappearance sticks out like a sore thumb, making fans wonder if he was written in as a trial character that never fully landed with audiences. Still, in true 90s sitcom fashion, they didn't bother tying it up. They just yanked him out and carried on like nothing happened. Number 4, Tina Pinciotti, that 70s show's forgotten sister. Okay, this one's legendary in TV vanishings. Remember Donna Pinciotti's little sister Tina? No? Don't feel bad. That's because she appeared in exactly one episode of that 70s show, The Pilot. She was introduced as Donna's younger sister, but by episode 2, she had vanished into the sitcom black hole. No explanation, no recasting, no clever excuse like, oh, she went to boarding school. The writers just deleted her. It's like she never existed. Fans have even joked that the basement circle must have been so smoky that everyone collectively forgot she was part of the family. To this day, whatever happened to Tina Pinciotti is one of the biggest mysteries of the show. Poor girl, imagine getting cast as a main character on a show that goes on to become iconic, only to get written out before the theme song even gets stuck in anyone's head. Number 3, Sarah Spooner, King of Queens' vanished sister. Now, The King of Queens is a show people still love to binge. Doug and Carrie's hilarious married life, Arthur's antics, it's sitcom gold. But here's the thing, Carrie actually had a sister. Yep, Sarah Spooner, played by Lisa Riefel, lived with Doug and Carrie in the very beginning. She was introduced as Carrie's younger, more free-spirited sibling, and it seemed like the show was setting her up to be a core part of the cast. And then she disappeared. After the first few episodes, Sarah was completely erased, never to be mentioned again. It's almost spooky. The writers realized they didn't need her character and just dropped her cold turkey, rewriting the family dynamic without skipping a beat. The weirdest part? The show went on for 9 seasons, and Carrie never once casually mentioned her sister again. That's cold. Number 2, Stuart Minkus, Boy Meets World's Forgotten Genius. Now we're back to Boy Meets World, because honestly, this show might as well have been a magician with the number of characters it made disappear. Stuart Minkus, remember him? The nerdy, overly ambitious classmate who was Corey and Sean's main foil in Season 1. He was in almost every episode at first, bringing that perfect balance of teacher's pet energy to counter Corey and Sean's chaos. But when the show moved into Season 2 and the kids went to high school, Minkus was gone. Just gone. No goodbye, no moving schools, not even a see you later, guys. He was simply erased from the group like he had been one giant algebra equation the writers solved and never needed again. But here's the kicker. Minkus actually came back years later in the spin-off Girl Meets World as the father of a student, which just made his original disappearance feel even stranger, like he'd been hiding out in some alternate sitcom dimension before finally reappearing. Number 1, Stacy Paterno, the great Spin City vanish. And finally, we've reached the number 1 spot. Stacy Paterno from Spin City. Played by Jennifer Esposito, Stacy was one of Mike Flaherty's assistants at City Hall in the early seasons. She was smart, witty, and had great chemistry with the rest of the ensemble. For a while, it really felt like she was going to be an essential part of the show's dynamic. But then she was gone. No storyline exit, no farewell, nothing. Just vanished without a trace. The official reason behind the scenes was creative differences and Esposito's growing film career, but for viewers at home, it was yet another head-scratcher. One week, Stacy was part of the team, and the next, it was like she'd never worked there at all. What makes this sting even more is that Spin City was known for juggling cast changes pretty smoothly. But Stacy, they didn't even try. She's the textbook definition of a TV character who vanished without saying goodbye. So there you have it. 10 characters from 90s TV who went missing without a trace. From sisters written out of existence to assistants who vanished overnight. The 90s had its fair share of television ghosting. Sometimes it was creative choices, sometimes actor conflicts, and sometimes just plain lazy writing. But one thing's for sure, these vanishing acts left audiences scratching their heads and wondering, wait, weren't they just here last week? And maybe that's why we still talk about them. Back in an era before social media outrage, these characters didn't get send-offs, trending hashtags, or petitions for closure. They just quietly disappeared, becoming part of TV history's strangest mysteries. Right now, you feel all fuzzy and nostalgic, yeah? For this feeling to last forever, hit that like and subscribe button. Because with Box Set and Chill, the 80s and 90s never end.